Ah, hell. I'm in the wrong game again.
Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drake Wing Gaming and Sunny Mountains for the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you with the Let's Play episode of Santa Lucia, Nate's Path. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go! He takes a cigarette out of his mouth and lets out a puff of smoke. Zach put you up to this, didn't he? I shake my head. No, I'm here because I want to be. Is that so? He returns the stick to his mouth. You know it's not a good idea to be around me. Hell, put up with it for the sake of Zach, but you should really head back inside. Actually, I don't know why it's not a good idea. I have my ideas as to why, but you've never given me a definitive answer. I speak while still staring out at the water. Why give someone like me the time of day? I raped a girl, after all. That's what everyone says, right? And laid her down in bed and ruined her for life. He drops his cigarette on the ground and stomps on it twice. Knowing that, why aren't you scared of me right now? You should be running for those hills over there. I'm such a monster, after all. Even though I let out a small laugh, I can feel the beginnings of a tear forming in the corner of my left eye. I'm sorry I didn't give you a chance, Russell. He's so afraid of rejection. He's actively trying to push me away so I don't hurt him first. Wish I had realized this all weeks ago. What? I see now why you and Zach are such close friends. I turn to him and smile. He's the only one who listened to you, isn't he? He angles himself away from me so I can't see his face. So what if that's true? Doesn't change what happened. His words tell a completely different story from his body language. Now you're just lying. You wouldn't be acting this way if it were true. Zach wouldn't have this much faith in you if it were true. Russell, I want to believe in you too. But you're gonna have to be open and honest with me first. Can you tell me what happened? My words seem to finally get through to him. He turns around to face me. Why do you have to do this? I've given you such an easy way out. You wouldn't have to stink of being associated with me for the rest of your college career. All you had to do was just leave me alone. I shrug my shoulders and smile. What can I say? There's no point in taking the easy way if it's wrong. Besides, me and my easy way don't exactly see eye to eye if you catch my drift. Huh. You're a brave one, kid, I'll give you that. He lets out a long sigh and rests his back against the railing while folding his arms. So, you really want to know what happened, huh? Tell you the truth, not even I know what really happened. And I was there. So, why do you believe it? Everyone else does, so it must be true. What I did to her must be, true, right? Maybe I didn't pick up on a cue, or I went too far with something. Tell me what happened. Okay. But strap in, it's a long story. I'm sure we've got time. Alright, first things first. Water time. What you need to know about me is, kind of an asshole. Shocker, I know. You already know I'm a son of a rich asshole, too. Let me tell you, when I was your age, I made sure everyone knew it. I practically ruled the school in my freshman year. I threw my money around like it was nothing, hosted some crazy-ass parties. Women wanted to be with me, men wanted to be me. And some men just wanted to be with me too. I was never picky with my conquests. I liked them all shapes and sizes, any configuration down there. Didn't matter, I was getting what I wanted out of it regardless. Sex? No. Validation. Proof that I exist. Proof that I was worth a damn, that somebody valued me for something. That despite all my various fuck-ups, I still had something I could offer besides wealth. That desire made me act in ways I'm not proud of. Of course, I know nowadays what made me this way. Sounds like depression to me. Kid, I wish it were that simple. How easy it would be if I had such a simple thing to point at and absolve myself of responsibility for my behavior. Nah, growing up is all about coming to terms with this part of reality. And sometimes we have to take a step back and confront the truths about ourselves we're too afraid to see. For me, the answer became obvious. I was a narcissist. Oh, wow. Can't you just call it low self-esteem or something? You don't have to be so hard on yourself. Look, kid, I'm not gonna sugarcoat things. Not for your sake, and especially not for mine. Back in the day, I'd use people to make me feel better about myself and discard them as soon as I was done with them. It took a real kick in the pants to make me see just how much of a shitheel I was, but I suppose it's where everything sort of starts for me. I leveraged my status to secure a position with the mentorship program. Normally, admission into the program is reserved for high GPA students. With a little persuasion, they made an exception for me. It's not that my grades are bad, I just had let's say a transitional period in terms of my degree choice. Anyway, I'm rambling at this point. Every mentor has to go through a training class before they're certified. I made fast friends with two of my soon-to-be co-workers. Blake Thornquist and Sam Moreau. Sam and I hit it off almost instantly. We were on the same wavelength most of the time. Similar tastes in women. A little weed now and then never hurt anyone. Hell, he even taught me how to surf a bit. Something I never thought I'd do. Blake, on the other hand, we butt heads a lot early on, but eventually we started to see eye to eye. Mutual respect bloomed into a good friendship. The guy always was a charmer. It's only natural he became practically the de facto leader of our class of mentors. There's one member of our group, though, that seemed to have a hard time fitting in. Let me guess. Was it Chris? Yep. Poor guy. It was hard for me not to feel sorry for him. He'd always sit in the back of the class and rarely interact with the rest of us. Hardly mentor material, if I'm being frank. Well, long story short, the three of us took Chris under our wing and taught him the ropes. 1 second, y'all. Water time. Alright, guys and gals, and we are back. Let's jump back into it, shall we? Or at least well enough that he could fake it. I don't think he ever truly overcame his shyness. He just learned how to mask it. I think I know what you mean. Fast forward to the end of winter semester. With the training class finished, our first real job as mentors was to welcome incoming students for spring orientation. Wait, there's a spring orientation too? Yeah, it's mostly for transfer students, though there's the occasional freshman that decided to start a semester late. There was another member of the mentors who was extremely popular and well-liked besides Blake. Her name was Katie. If Blake was the leader for the men, then Katie was the leader for the women. She had it all: charm, wit, intelligence, beauty. She's even a pre-med student, for Christ's sake. Everyone who had her as their mentor during orientation gave her top ratings. We never interacted much, but I respected the hell out of her. She really got me to stop and think about how I was handling things on my side. At this point, I had started to mellow out on the whole bang anything with a pulse thing. For whatever reason, being a mentor started to fill that void I had deep inside me. Things stopped being all about me, and I had to start thinking about students I was now responsible for. I wanted to be the best damn mentor for these kids that I could possibly be. It gave me a sense of purpose I was sorely lacking in my college career, especially after I lost interest in my original major. You weren't always a psychology student? Nope. I started out as a physics major. Some nights I still stare up at the stars and dream about what I could have been if I just stuck with it. I always wanted to be an astronaut. You know, it's never too late to change back. Doesn't matter. I've learned to live with my decision. Anyway, let's fast forward a bit more to spring break. Most students have something to do for it, like party on the beach or take some wild trip backpacking in Europe. You know, the usual. But you have a few who decide to take their academics seriously and stay on campus. Naturally, being the great student that I am, I stuck around too. Are you being sarcastic, or...? Yes, it's a joke. I didn't feel like doing much, and I knew a few of my students were stuck on campus with no place to go. I did what any good mentor would do and kept them company. Video games, manga, pizza. Really got to know those kids during that week. You sound like you really enjoyed being a mentor. Yeah, I suppose I did. Okay, so this is where things start to go down. I hope you're ready for it, because, ugh. You have my full attention, Russell. Thanks, kid. So, the school puts on an event during spring break for the students who stay behind. Kind of an Easter celebration with the serial numbers filed off, if you know what I mean. Right, have to keep things neutral. Exactly. Well, I wasn't the only mentor on campus. There were several of us. It was me, Tariq, Omar, Allison, Chris, and... Katie. We decided it was prime bonding time, so most of us got together to hang out for a bit by the bonfire in front of the UC. Just the mentors? Yep. Just us. I think Chris was taking pictures for the yearbook or something, so he wasn't really there. The rest of us had a good time shooting the shit, though we noticed something was off about Katie. What happened? Unlike her usual self, she just sat in silence watching the fire crackle. When we finally got her to talk, she explained to us how she had just broken up with her boyfriend earlier that morning. There wasn't anyone on campus. I guess she was maintaining a long-distance relationship with some guy she knew from high school. I don't remember the details, but it seemed pretty messy. Anyway, I wanted to pay her back for everything she'd done for me up to this point. I started talking to her, trying to cheer her up. After a bit, she seemed to have improved and joined us in our conversations. As the night went on, though, I could tell her mind was still elsewhere. That's when I noticed something else weird. She kept drinking from her water bottle and wouldn't accept any of the drinks we were offering her. What kind of drinks? Sodas, punch, the usual campus-friendly stuff. Why? Was just wondering. I'm not that kind of guy, kid. And she was a smart enough girl to know better. Eventually, she stood up and said she was heading back to her room for the night. It was weird. She nearly stumbled into the fire. Almost as if she hadn't slept for days. Feeling concerned for her safety, I volunteered to escort her back to the dorms. I tried to keep up the conversation between us, but she was definitely acting off. Every time I brought up her ex, she changed the subject on me. I'm not one to push someone when they're uncomfortable, so I backed off. I see. So I managed to get her back to the dorm building safely. I was about to head back to the party, but she wouldn't let go of my hand. Katie told me how lonely she was feeling and wanted me to stay with her for a bit longer. And I made the biggest mistake of my life. He went up to her room with her. Yep. And, well, I wasn't exactly about to turn down a good time. Especially with a smoking hot ferret like her. She offered me a drink, and that was that. Russel. The rest of the night is a blur, but I do know one thing is for sure. I fucked her. I woke up the next morning lying in bed next to her. She looked so peaceful. I didn't have the heart to wake her up. When I slipped out of bed and I was butt naked, it finally hit me what happened. I don't know why, but for some reason I panicked. I silently slipped on my clothes and got out of there. I wandered down to the marketplace and sat on a bench looking out at the ocean. Couldn't believe it. I slept with Katie, a girl I both admired and had the hots for, and yet I couldn't stop feeling guilty over it. I guess my time as a mentor really changed the way I saw things in my life. The old me would have never felt this way, but... well, that's the way things go. Fast forward a week, classes are back in session. I never heard back from Katie, so I assumed things were fine. Until I was called into the administration building. Apparently Katie decided to withdraw from the school not long after our night together. They said they had picture evidence that we were in contact alone together. However, Katie gave no reasons to why she made her decision. She just quietly decided to up and leave, I don't know. She also deleted all her social media accounts and hadn't responded to emails from any of her friends. That's really strange. You're telling me? In the end, the administration gave me an ultimatum. Quit the mentorship program or they'd forward the case to the authorities for investigation. That's fucked. That's not even the worst part. I wasn't allowed to talk about Katie or anything involving that night until the school finished their own investigation, which was enough time for the rumors to start growing. And the rest, as they say, is history. I lost all my friends and the coworkers I once was close to, which turned their backs on me and have actively crusaded to get me kicked out of the school. Fuck you, Blake. Of course, the administration never found anything to condemn me with, but at that point it was too late. Everyone had already made up their mind about me, and that was that. Damn, that is rough. Alright, y'all, I'm going to pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!